Here we go with day 15. Remember, we stopped in the middle of Jessica's encounter with Rosa when she was out trying to run and it wasn't going so well. And it turns into an interesting conversation. So, Rosa had just said, "Tell me about running. Why do you like it?" No one has ever asked me this so directly before. Either people like running or they don't. Either people get it or they don't. And if they don't, they just think people who like it are crazy, which is okay. That makes us even. But now I have to explain why I like it. And I'm not sure where to start. Running or racing? She thinks, then says, "Running, like this morning." I try to put my finger on it. Because it feels like freedom? She nods thoughtfully. And your mind travels places where it doesn't normally go. Huh? Like dreaming in real time, I laugh. Never mind, it sounds crazy. She laughs too, so I say the next thing that pops into my mind. I love the morning air on my face. It's one of the best things about running. The rest of your body's warm, but your face is cool. I laugh again. I totally get why dogs like to stick their heads out of car windows. Running's like that, but with fewer bugs in your teeth. She laughs again, then sighs and says, "I wish I could feel that." What? I kid her. Your mom won't let you stick your head out the window while she's driving? What kind of mom do you have? A good one, she says. Now, racing. Huh? Oh, what do I like about racing? She nods, so I give that some thought and finally tell her. It's electric. From stepping into your lane until you cross the finish line, every cell of your body is charged. Going over the finish line must be wonderful. I laugh, especially if you're the first one there. But it means you finished. You made it, even if you don't get a medal. I look at her. You're very philosophical about the finish line. She gives a thoughtful nod. It's symbolic. I nod too because I'm sure I know what she means, but then she adds, because it's also the starting line. For some reason, this thought startles me, and I think about all the races where this is true. The 400, the 800, the 1600, all the relays, and it shocks me that I have never looked at it this way. Maybe because of staggered starts. Maybe because starting feels so different from finishing. At the starting line, you're amped, set, coiled. At the finish line, you're completely spent. So the thought that they're the same line gives me a very strange feeling, a sort of uncomfortable feeling, like discovering someone very close to you has been leading a secret double life. Monday during math, Rosa slips me a note. Running or racing, which would you choose? She slips me questions like this a lot, or statements, or combinations. Baby steps or blessings? Wind is mysterious. Where does it go? Sometimes they seem so off the wall, but they always make me think. This time I consider the question, but I also think about Rosa thinking about running. Why does she spend her time pondering something she'll never be able to do? Why is she interested in it at all? Why in the world would she philosophize about the finish line? I jot back, running. I know immediately that it's what I'd choose. Still, it's the first time I've actually thought about it. By Tuesday, we've given up on getting more donations from Gavin's newspaper article. It's been over a week and they just haven't arrived. Wednesday morning, the bake sale table is missing from the courtyard, and at lunch, there's only one person staffing it. Plus, all the baked goods are store bought, so no one's buying. Then Thursday morning, there's a message in the announcements. All track team members are to report to Coach Cairo's classroom at lunch. Be prompt, no exceptions. Sounds ominous, Fiona mutters. Maybe it's just about today's meet? She shakes her head. We went over that at practice yesterday. By lunch, I've convinced myself that the meeting is to scold the team for giving up on raising money for my leg, and I walk into Cairo's room feeling dread. Why should my team be expected to raise $20,000? It's crazy. What's worse is I don't want them to resent me or feel like failures because they couldn't do the impossible. Within the first 5 minutes of lunch, over 90 people have crammed into Cairo's room, even Merrill. Guys, Cairo finally says, holding one graceful hand high, I'll make this quick. Everyone falls silent. Item one, he says. I've noticed a lackluster attitude growing among you. I close my eyes and think, oh boy, here we go. He looks across the room. That didn't take long. We've been fundraising for 2 weeks and already you give up? No one moves a muscle, but I can feel it. Everyone's shrinking away from me. Where's your spirit? He asks. Where's your determination, your drive? You hit a little headwind and let it knock you flat? Hasn't being on this team taught you that around the bend of every headwind comes a tailwind? We just look at him. Item 2, he says. The office delivered this to me today. He holds up a stack of envelopes. For some reason, the helpers in the front office didn't know who to give Jessica mail to, so they collected it in a box. He smiles at us. So here's our tailwind. The checks range from $5 to $250, and our new grand total is $4,765. A roar fills the room. Item 3, he shouts, and we all fall quiet. We have a patron. Someone who insists on staying anonymous. They have pledged $1 for every dollar we raise, up to $10,000. Wait, Mario Reed says, so that means we're already up to like 9,500? Very good, Cairo says. He looks around the room. We are almost halfway there, people. Cheers fill the room again, and this time people pump fists and pat me on the back and give me double thumbs up. Cairo lets it go on for a minute before raising his hand again. Last item. There's more, people whisper to each other. We will have visitors at our meet this afternoon. Channel 7 is sending a local news crew out to do a story on the team and on Jessica. Wait, Mario says again. We're going to be on TV? Cairo nods. They saw the article in the paper and want to help get the word out. He looks at me. You will be there today, right? I'm smiling and laughing and crying all at the same time. You bet, I tell him as I wipe my face dry. How do you feel about wearing a uniform? I hesitate. It was one thing to wear it at a car wash when I didn't know I was going to be in the paper. It's another to wear it knowing I'll be on TV. Mario starts a chant. Do it, do it, do it. It doesn't take long for everyone to chime in. Do it, do it, do it. I pinch my eyes closed. How can I not? Okay, I blurt out. I'll do it. Yay, the team cheers. Remember, people, Cairo calls out. This is the last league meet. Let's win this thing. From the roar that follows, there's no doubt that that's exactly what they plan to do. The team is loving having a news crew around. They make a show of everything, especially crossing the finish line. So far, the crew is not talking to me, so I try to forget they're even there and not to feel too self-conscious about my very visible fake leg. I do my best to act normal, and I shadow Fiona as she moves from event to event. The only time I really forget about my leg is when Shandal comes in second in the 100-meter dash. I cheer my head off for that because she usually gets edged back to fourth, and the best she's placed all year is third. Way to go, Shandal! I yell as she prances into the infield. She works her way over to me. That felt so good, she pants. Girl, I was flying. Yes, you were. I bump her fist when she puts it up. Flying with flames shooting out from your feet. Shandal laughs. Glad you could see him, because I could sure feel him. She cocks her head at something behind me and lowers her voice. You've got company. I turn around and see the TV news crew standing behind me. Jessica, the news lady asks. Her blonde hair is tied down with a scarf. She's wearing a designer sweatsuit and cute little pumas, nothing like what she wears when she's anchoring the news. I'm Marla Sumner. It's a pleasure to meet you. I shake her hand. She's smaller than she looks on TV, and even prettier. This is my photographer, Andy Richards, she says, indicating the man lugging a large black camera bag, a tripod, and a big lens video camera. He flashes a smile, then gets busy with his equipment. Your coach says you're okay with being interviewed. I nod. Good. She looks around, then points to a spot further infield. Why don't we do it over there? I'd like to get the finish line in the background. It doesn't take long for them to set up. Marla tells me to look at her, not the camera, and the first thing she has me do is state my name. After that, she's off and running with questions. I'm nervous at first, but since the camera's a little off to the side, I try to block it out and just answer her questions. She's very attentive and nods a lot, and before too long, she's done. Thank you so much, Jessica, she says. This is an important story, and we want to do what we can to help. I appreciate that, I say softly. How do you feel about us coming to your home? I think it would add a personal dimension if we could include your family in the story. I think that would be okay. You should ask my mom and dad, though. So I give her our phone number, thank her again, and set out to find Fiona because her heat of the 800 meter has just been called. I run into Gavin Vance instead. Hey, he says, I heard the good news. I look down because holding his gaze is just unnerving. Nice little snowball you got rolling. I glance up. Thanks. Hey, if it wasn't a worthy story, they wouldn't be here. Thanks, I tell him again, then start moving across the infield. It's Fiona's race, right? He asks, following me. You heading up to Rigor Mortis Bend? I cock my head a little. Wow, you better watch out. People might start thinking you're part of the team. This seems to please him, and he falls into step beside me as I trek up to the 300-meter mark. I'm starting to feel a little like it, actually. I snort. Yeah? Well, you've got a lot of wind sprints to catch up on, buddy. He laughs and then says, But I did take your advice. About? Running for more than just office. I keep moving. So you what? Went for a run? He nods. I've been a few times, actually. He laughs again. The first one was torture. It's been a long time. We walk in silence for a few steps, and then he says, You are amazing. This catches me off guard until I realize he's talking about the fact that I'm walking on a pipe. Cairo asked me to wear the uniform, I say with a frown. I'm not trying to be an exhibitionist or anything. Are you kidding me? Who thinks that? He shakes his head. Do you realize how fast you're walking? The gun's gone off for Fiona's race, so I pick up the pace even more. There's no stopping you, is there? He says with a chuckle. Not where Fiona's concerned, I tell him. She has been the most incredible friend. I don't know if it's my comment about Fiona or him not wanting to leave me alone on Rigor Mortis Bend, but he stays there with me. I cheer for Fiona on her first lap, and then when she hits the 600 mark, on her 600-meter mark on her second time around, she's trailing the first place runner from Hartwell, but not by much. When she crests the curve and hits the bend, I can see the grit on Fiona's face, the focus. I shout, You can do it, Fiona! Pass her! Gavin cheers her on too, and it's cute because you can tell he's never actually done this before. Words come out, but they're shy. He's shouting, but there's nothing really loud about it. When Fiona hits the straightaway, her head bobs and she bears down, moving out a lane to pass the girl from Hartwell. Kick it, Fiona! Kick it in! I shout and then hold my breath as she edges ahead and wins the race. She did it! She did it! I squeal, and I find myself jumping and hugging, just like I would with anyone else on the team. Only this isn't just anyone. This is Gavin Vance. And it's my first physical contact with him of any kind. I've never even accidentally bumped or brushed or touched him before. And now I'm hugging him? Sorry, I say, pulling away. Then I try to cover up my embarrassment with words. It's just, you have no idea how hard the 800 is. There's no way you could get me to run that race. It's the 400 times 2. Rigor Mortis Bend twice. I have trouble facing it even once. I start moving away from him. Well, I'm going to go congratulate her. Thanks for helping cheer her on. And I escape. Not that there's any danger of him following me. Not with Meryl making a beeline toward him the way she is.